Hey instructors, Josef McMatthews here, format expert for P90X. In this pro team video, I'm going to give you a little bit of tips on how to correctly coach people to proper form and technique in their classes. So when people come to your class, they come for, of course, a great experience. They want to have fun, they want to enjoy it, but they also come for results. In giving people results, it's really important that they move safely, but also correctly, so that they get the results they come for. So what I'm going to give you over the next few minutes is 3 tips on how to give corrective cueing or corrective coaching in your classes. Step number 1, it's all about creating a connection. So make sure that you're creating a connection with the person or the area of the room where you see there needs a little bit of improvement. So sometimes it's enough by just cueing to the entire class. Hey guys, make sure that you're doing this and this and this, and you should feel it here and here and here, and sometimes that fixes the problem. If it doesn't, you can start focusing your attention to the problem area of the class by either looking over there when you're speaking or perhaps moving around the room so you're closer to that area. But in my opinion, the most effective way to correct someone's form and technique is to actually connect one-on-one. To do this, it's really important that you do it in a positive way. So step number 1 is create a connection. So make sure the person knows that you're communicating with them or you're talking to them. So it's eye contact, or it's not about picking someone out of the room, but it's you have the freedom to move around. Maybe go a little bit closer or stand in front of that person to give them the corrective cues to help them improve on their form and technique. The second thing is to actually correct what they're doing wrong. A few things to think about here is make sure your language is always positive. So when you're giving instructions, tell people what you want them to do, not what you don't want them to do. As an example, if I tell you right now, don't think of a pink elephant, you start thinking about a pink elephant, right? So tell people what you want them to do. Squat, as an example. Maybe someone's knees are tracking forward a lot and their heels are lifting off the floor. Tell them, sit your butt back, feel the weight in your heels, and allow your knees to track just to the tips of your toes or slightly past. So you're telling them exactly what they need to hear. Another thing that's pretty cool with this here is give them a kinesthetic awareness of what's going on. They should feel it in their bodies. So tell them, you should feel it more, like you should feel your heels pressing into the floor as you drop down, and especially as you push out of your squat. You feel that? So that's step number 2. Make sure you're correcting the technique and doing it with a positive language. Step number 3, and this is a really important one, and sometimes gets lost in the shuffle because we're stressed as instructors trying to keep an eye on a full room, is make sure you give some sort of acknowledgement that you see their effort, or maybe they've even improved and they've fixed what they need to fix. Give them some sort of thumbs up, some sort of praise, or some sort of acknowledgement that, yeah, that's it, or you're moving in the right direction, keep working on that, nice job. A couple of other tips that you can think about to make sure that the information you're giving really lands is perhaps walk up to them. We have the ability to walk freely around the room, so kinesthetically, we can actually touch people and help them find their technique. A couple of things to think about here, though, is make sure that you have their permission. So maybe ask them first and say, hey, is it okay I put my hand on your shoulder or touch your knee? And when you do touch, make sure that you do it with purpose. So firm hands to make sure that they really understand it's just to help correct their form and technique. Another thing, too, that's really important is make sure that you're always leading with associations to the body. So get people to understand where they should be feeling it. That's another way of thinking kinesthetically. So it's not only you touching them, but if you associate it to the body and where they should feel it in their body, it's easier for people to connect the cues that you're giving to what's going on in their system. So there you have a few tips on how to correct people's form and technique in your classes to give them a better experience, a more successful experience, and better results to keep them coming back. Good luck.